Hey there, CrossFit Relentless athletes. Welcome to another Be Relentless vlog. Let's go into tomorrow's workout, which is wood. Let me frame this for you. It's going to be 5 rounds, 400 meters, burpee box jumps, sumo deadlift, high pulls, then thrusters, then a minute rest. So it's a little bit like Holbrook that you just completed. So you have that rest period, which means that you have a moment to push down your heart rate, which means there should be a time in this workout that you are going at a breakneck pace. With that, it is 4 movements, and one of the movements is a 400-meter run, so we need to be smart of where we do it. If I was to go ahead and be attacking this for myself, I'd be looking at that 400-meter run as something to where it's like a trap. If you go too hard on the running, then it's going to go ahead and set you up for heavier legs on the burpee box jumps, or the burpee box jumps, you're going to get done with that. And if you ran too hard going into those, your heart rate's just going to be out of control. When you get to the barbell movement, where you need to go ahead and pressurize and go ahead and really try to think about creating pressure and stability through the midline to actually generate power to the barbell. So we need to be careful about that. So I would look this as a sprint, as a coasting workout, sprint, coast, sprint in terms of movement. So I would look at this as the 400 meters would be a 80%, 85% pace. The burpee box jumps is when I go ahead and get into the door and I hit that box hard and fast. I get 10 done. I get done with that. Sumo deadlift high pulls, I go ahead and go at another 80% coasting pace. Maybe a set of 5 twice, or one set of 10. That's just nice and smooth. Something to go ahead and start pushing my heart rate down, because there's not a lot of compression through the midline with the sumo deadlift high pull. And you should be taking your time anyway on these, because it's not a really lightweight for sumo deadlift high pulls. But sumo deadlift high pulls is a movement that tends to pull people out of position. So slowing it down allows you to go ahead and stay tight, and making sure that you're keeping the bar path where it's supposed to be in your body. And then the thrusters, it's like, hey, you're gonna have a minute rest of that. You should be able to clean that bar up and then go hard and fast with those. That is essentially how I would attack this workout. Be careful. I'm not giving you an excuse to really kind of coast recovery pace the run though, right? Because it's a total of a mile, right? When you run, and a total of a mile in any workout, when you kind of add the running together, that's a good chunk of time. That could make it or break it, to where all of a sudden you're like, man, I killed it on all my other movements. I moved so slow on my run. I still got a kind of a average or below average time, right? If you felt like you put a above average effort into all the other movements. So remember, this is still a pace that you're still pushing yourself on, but something that you can come back to the box jump, burpee box jumps, and feel like you can hit those hard and fast. Cool. I hope that frames my intentions of what the workout should be and what you guys need to. Now, if you need to inverse that or switch any of the movements up, just go and try to use that rationale with what you think would work for you. Let's talk about the mobility stability portion. Of course, all these things that I mentioned, guys, remember that mobility stability is something that if you're coming early, right, you should go ahead and think about this is what you should be focusing on, right? It's not so that this is something you should focus on during class. Your coach will go ahead and bring you through that, but this is something you should focus on if you're ended up being early and you're just BSing with people and talking, mobilize, or go ahead and start activating some muscle groups. Mobility wise, we need to go ahead and try to open up the upper back, and we need to think about hamstrings and ankles, right? There's a fair amount of hamstrings, so if the hamstrings are tight and the ankles are tight, that's going to throw off everything else, and the thoracic is kind of that third option, to where if you have time to hit it, try to open up that back. That'll help with the thrusters and the sumo deadlift high pull, making sure the upper back's in a nice open position. Stability, guys, there's squatting, we have a barbell, there's a lot of flexion extension, the burpee box jumps, so really we're looking for glutes and our midline to go ahead and get turned on. And then of course the third option is to go ahead and turn on that upper back as well, if you have extra time. That's going to be everything for the workout. Remember, this Friday is going to be the first Frosty Friday of June, right? It's the 2nd, so feel free to come. That's going to be the one that's hosted by Naveed and Jess, so that should be fun. And then go ahead, we look forward to go ahead and seeing you guys Thursday night, which is our open house, to really kind of give you guys an inside look of what's happening with the new building, with the architecture, before we submit to permitting. This is also our chance to go ahead and get to know the neighbors that are in the neighborhood just down the street, and also give them a chance to give us feedback of what they're looking for as well in the building. Because if they push back really hard on the project, they could kind of bring the wheels just to a dead stop. So we need to go ahead and make sure we bring them in, make them happy as well, as long as we can make each other see that the vision is the same, right? So with that, guys, remember, because of the open house, Thursday night, 5:30 and 6:30 classes are closed, right? They're canceled. So guys, remember, be relentless in everything that you do, and we'll see you next time.